All right, y'all. So we're going to watch the first quarter of the Clemson LSU 2020 National Championship game. I'm only going to play Clemson's offensive snaps. I don't want to get too lost in the weeds getting in the scheme, um, but I do kind of want to show you what play callers are thinking about while they're going through the game. First and foremost, obviously, we did a whole lot of prep for this game. I wanted to go through their depth chart a little bit, which I found on TigerNet. So, looking at their depth, a lot of these guys that you're seeing here wound up having really good professional careers. I think their best defensive player is Derek Stingley Jr. He typically plays on the left side, and we made it a point in the first quarter not to go after him. I don't think we targeted him once. They play a 3-4. They they're I'm not going to say big, but they're not small up front. That being said, I felt like we got really good movement on them. Rashard Lawrence, number 90, I think is probably the best one that I saw just because he tends to get a really good jump on snaps. He picked up our snap count. It felt like Shelvin here is not bad, but I didn't find him to be very quick. I thought he was a little slow, and we got movement on him. And kind of same deal with Logan. Their backers, with Patrick Queen, I think, is with Baltimore now. Um, Solid player. I don't think he played very well in space. We got him matched up with tight ends a good bit. Um, so I didn't think they were great defensively. I thought they were good, but if you look at their box score throughout the years, people scored points on them. People moved the football. People ran the ball. They play a ton of man to man. And so, yeah, we should have had a better offensive performance than what we did. But let's get to the film. All right. So first play here, and I thought this was a very weird call to open the game with, but I like the formation. We get a nub formation here, so we got a tight end, and then we've got three receivers over here, and we're stacked up. So we know we're going to get man. Stacking makes a lot of sense. Um, I just think this is a weird play call, and I'll show you why. So we go a little jet motion here with the slot. Okay, you see number 5 running with him. You know it's man. Okay, so we go hook and ladder here. This is a great job by Stingley. Okay. And I say that, we'll back it up a little bit. He knows, so we're thinking, right? He's going to see man, he's going to come screaming inside, and we're going to be able to get the edge on him. But he knows he has help inside, right? He's got these two backers coming, and he stays wide. He sees it, and we get not quite tackled for a loss, but I just think that's a weird play call to start the game with. Anyways, play 2, we get them to jump all sides here, and we throw the vertical. And we hit it. This is a nice ball by Trevor Lawrence. Really nice ball. We know it's man to man. So when you get man to man, you got to win matchups. And the corner up top here doesn't give up the outside release, but we get inside. Safety's too far. Ball comes out of his hands. Perfect location. Great job here. All right, play 3. So now we're going to add a tight end. Okay, in this little sniffer set here. So we've got the strength of our formation is into the boundary, and we get them to jump into a bear look. So we know we got bear is typically going to be man to man, right? Um, this is a great, great, great play call. Okay, so hang on. Nobody peels with the back. Okay, let's start this one back over. So what should happen here? They're in man. We've got the screen to ETN here, and we're going to take T Higgins here, and we're going to crack. Okay, so if the back's getting out and you're in man, either this linebacker here or this defensive end has to go with it. Okay, the end goes upfield. He does not peel with the back, and we get him cracked. The corner is man on T, so he thinks this is a slant, right? So he's going to chase. Okay. Nobody home. We get offensive lineman out on Stingley. Great play call, great design. All right, now we're going to get into funky set. And I like one really good thing I liked out of our game plan here is we got a lot of funky sets with these nubs. Okay, so we actually have quads here. We got 3 receivers and the tight ends over here. Okay, LSU is going to have a hard time identifying this. You see the backer here pointing out how many, hey, we got quads. Okay. Trevor realizes that they're a little bit confused, misaligned. He throws the screen. So we got inside zone block here. Notice we're getting movement. Okay. Notice we're getting movement. There's no way this end's going to get out here. Linebacker doesn't move. He's respecting the run. Wish we got a little bit better block by Ross here. Ross can't give up the outside like this. He's got to get his head across. All right, so we're going to show them empty, and then we're going to shift to the sniffer set. Okay, ETN, or not ETN, but the back comes back in the backfield. Okay, now we have a tight end. This is a good play call that doesn't work out. Okay, so we're going to run stretch left. All right, we have numbers over here. I'm not counting the center and the nose, but we got 1, 2, 3 for 1, 2, 3. We got a hat for a hat. Okay. Now, this is a great job by number 90. Remember I said that he does a really good job picking up the snap? He gets a great jump on this. Okay, so theoretically, we'd want these two to double up and work to here. We're leaving the center can get his helmet across. He's got some help coming, and we're trying to cut backside. Okay, but because 90 gets a good jump on the snap, we can't really get up to this linebacker like we want to. The back really should bury it right here and get inside, but he tries to run wide, and there's just nowhere to go. Okay, we'll get back to this play later, and it's going to work out better, a lot better. Okay, but great job by 90, figuring out the snap count, getting a great jump, and just kind of disrupting the play from the get-go. Page here. All right. So one of the key themes of this game and really any defense is anytime you get in 3rd and long, they're going to give you some exotic stuff to confuse you because they can. Okay, they can gamble, and LSU really confused Trevor with their exotic stuff on 3rd down, particularly 3rd and long, 3rd and 5+. And this play is the first time you'll see it. Okay, so looking at this, hang on, I'm going to check my notes so I can get lined up. All right, really, really wacky front, right? We know something funky's coming. We know we probably have man. They're kind of showing some cover 3 here, but it's not going to be that. This is a really bad job by Trevor Lawrence here. Okay, we should have an easy 1st down. You see this guy's coming. Somebody's got to replace him in man, right? And even if it is zone, if he comes, we should have a man advantage with some kind of zone blitz. Okay, let's see. All right, now look at Trevor's eyes. Okay, I don't really know what he's looking at, but we see this coming. We know we now have 3-on-2 here. We've got some kind of a sail concept call where we're clearing out. This sail should break open in the grass. This ball should be coming out now. Okay, I don't know what Trevor's seeing. I don't know what he's looking at, but he kind of panics, doesn't get this ball thrown, and gives up the sack. Look at all this grass. If he hitches up and gets this ball out now, not only is it a 1st down, it could very well be a touchdown. He's gone. Corner's gone. Safety has no chance of getting there. This really should be a 1st down or touchdown. Okay? And this is a really tough way to start the game. When you're playing offense like LSU, and I realize that, as an offensive coordinator, you're worrying about your side of the ball, but you also got to take care of your defense, right? With the offense of the caliber that LSU has, you have to not let this turn into a shootout. You have to move the sticks. You have to eat up some clock. You got to score when you have opportunities, and this was a prime opportunity for us to score, and we kind of blew it. I can't remember if we missed the field goal or not. I'm going to skip ahead. But our defense does a really good job early, and we kind of squander some opportunities early in the game. See, now our defense, we pinned them back on the one. Our defense held. We've got great field position. Um, so we got to make this count, right? I really like this opening play call. So we saw how they played us with stretch. So we shifted, and we're going to run pin and pull. Okay, they're a little confused. Guard gets out. Both guards get out. And we get 5 yards. It really could be more. We're asking a lot out of, I think this is Amari Rogers. He comes in here and he gets rocked a little bit. I mean, this guy's probably got 40 pounds on him. He holds his own, though. He sticks his nose in there. I kind of wonder if the tight end can't handle this down block by himself and we can get this right tackle out as well. But we decided to stick with the double team there. But notice the movement, right? All right, so this play call to me makes no sense. I don't want to sound like I'm being critical because calling plays is one of the hardest things to do. But we're trying to run slants across the board here, and it just doesn't really make sense. I think you can work the slant out concept. I think you can really work at the boundary, and we do later. But they have leverage here. This is not an RPO. This is straight up play action, I think. And see, he's got leverage. He's squatting on it, and it just doesn't time up well. Okay, watch him driving this ball. I don't like this. If I'm going to play action here, I want something working out where you got a little bit more leverage in space. Or the other thing you could do is, and everybody's running the same slant here, right? So it's just not going to time. If you have a one-step slant, a three-step slant, if we're making this linebacker clear out a little earlier, maybe I don't care for this call. Okay, and now we got ourselves in 3rd and long again, right? 3rd and 5. So you can expect some kind of exotic or something funky. LSU chooses to get into a Queens front here where they've got really, really wide defensive ends. And I don't know if Tony got this in the headset, but I think they only have one defensive lineman on the field here. These are both linebackers. Okay, and they are in really small personnel. I would almost, if I know that's the personnel they're in, I'm thinking I'm going to run the ball here. There's just not really anything here. They send the overload blitz from the field. Okay, just funky stuff, man. You got to stay out of these situations. They've got this bracketed. Okay, this is where Trevor's eyes go. There's nothing there. Another big stop by the defense. All right, we're going to drive 3. This is a great play call right here. Now this is a thing of beauty. So LSU's playing some robber. I mean, not robber. They're playing some spy. They're really, really worried about Trevor's legs. They're determined that Trevor is not going to beat them by pulling the ball and taking off, right? So notice this action here. We're in a 3-by-1 set with the sniffer tight end. Okay, we're going to block zone or sell zone to the right, okay, which means this is the side that Trevor will be reading. They're going to do a little squeeze scrape. Okay, notice 90 here, he's squeezing in. This linebacker is scraping to play quarterback. Number 3 here, I can't remember his name, but he sees the tight end coming out. He thinks he's a lead blocker for Trevor. Okay, really, he should be manning up this tight end, but he doesn't. Okay, he sees the pull, tight end leaks in the grass. Beautiful. This is stupid right here. Absolutely stupid. Okay, that's the kind of boneheaded thing that gets you beat in big games like this. You cannot do that. We have a beautiful play design. We got him for an explosive, and we're going to go crack back. Okay, couldn't help himself. We should be first and 10 at the 10. Instead, we have a huge penalty that backs us all the way back up to the 40. You cannot do that stuff. All right, so we got a little stretch RPO here. I really like this design. It's not play action. It's a little bit different blocking scheme. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to big on big backside. So the center is going to big on big here, and we're going to fan these two, okay? And then the left guard and left tackle are going to stretch this defensive end here to linebacker, and this tight end is going to stretch here. Okay, so by doing it this way, what we've done is we've put Patrick Queen here in conflict. Okay, he can't flow with the stretch and get out here and help on this slant. Okay, so he flows, Trevor pulls it. Okay, what happens, I think, this ball really should be thrown for a nice play, but the receiver slips a little bit on his squirt release here. I think Trevor sees that and is afraid to throw it. If he does, it's a really nice play, but he pulls it down, it works out. Okay. Again, OL's getting movement, right? They're throwing this defensive end down here out of the club. All right, where were we? Lost my spot. Oh, I love this design too. So I've never actually seen this outside. I remembered it from watching it years ago, but I haven't seen this play run again, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to run mesh. Okay, so he's meshing, but what's going to wind up happening is T after the mesh. Hey Google, stop. After the mesh, T is going to circle back around and get in the flats. LSU's actually changing up a little bit, and they're playing a coverage I call mini, and it works out perfectly for us. So what we're doing here is they're taking this corner, and he's basically erasing this receiver. He's man on. Everybody else is pattern matching. So these two are reading the release of the tight end here, and this safety and Stingley are reading the release of the back. Okay, so Stingley sees T go under, so he doesn't man him. Okay, he sees T go under. He knows something else is coming here to replace, so he's looking for that. So he's going to pick up the second measure here. Okay, the safety. Okay, sees ETN stay in, so he goes to zone off. He's looking to undercut anything deep, and what winds up happening is when T circles back around, there's nobody there. Ball's on time. I would like to see him make a guy miss, but that's a really, really well designed play. Really good play call. Okay, and I told you earlier where we got outside on stretch, or we got outside on stretch we shouldn't have. Okay, this is what really should have happened on the first play. And again, notice the OL getting movement. So we're inside the 5. LSU looks like they're playing some zone again. We motion Trevor out. They just bump. Okay, so now we're in Wildcat. Okay, look at this. Hat on a hat. They're over pursuing. Travis sees it, cuts it back, and he would score. We're actually cutting number 90 right here, and we don't quite get him on the ground. It's a really good job by him. Okay, he gets back on his feet. If he's down, it's a walk-in touchdown. Okay, good job recovering by that kid. We still have the ball, second and goal inside the 1. Okay, and we're going to get in a little bit of a hammer formation with split sniffers. Notice the box here, and we'll pause it. They got 9 guys in the box. Okay, so and granted, you need like 6 inches here, So if you slam it in there, you'll probably get it. But Trevor also knows that we can handle everybody except for this cat right here. I think that's, let me see who that is. That's Stevens, the outside linebacker. Trevor's a better athlete than him, and he knows it. And he's got a ton of grass here. All Trevor really needs is to get a good outside release by this receiver up at the top to get the corner to turn his back, and he's going to win a foot race to the end zone. Notice how the end's hip staying square. He knows he's a quarterback player. He's not getting greedy, but he's just trying to tackle a superior athlete in space. It's not happening. Okay, that's a really good drive. Really good drive. When you're playing an offense like LSU, okay, getting ahead and keeping the pressure on them is the key. Like they're realistically, there are only so many stops you're going to get. You have to keep the pressure on them, make them be the ones that are always playing from behind and playing catch up. So the first quarter, I really wish we'd have come away with points on the first drive, but this isn't going badly really so far. All right, let's skip ahead. Got a little commercial here. All right. Drive 4. Let me make sure it's the right play. I don't think so. All right, here we go. So we are in trips with the sniffer, and we're going to run guard, tight end, counter back to the left. Now we have a really bad miscommunication here, and this one hurts because we should have gotten probably 5 yards on this, and instead we wound up losing 4, which is going to be a big issue later in the drive. So we run this little motion, and there's some kind of miscommunication in the backfield, right? You see 90's trying to bury himself. We're going to get 45 kicked out. Guards wrapping around. Okay. If Travis is here, he's getting 4 or 5 yards. Okay. But for whatever reason, he goes the wrong way. There's just nothing there. All I can figure is it's a miscommunication. Even the quarterback, running back exchange looks funky. I don't know what he's thinking, but that puts us behind the 8 ball now. It's going to be 2nd and 14, 2nd and 15. And there's just, like with these guys, you don't want to get in 3rd and long, 3rd and medium. They're going to get very exotic in that case. So I like this call a lot. We got essentially a 5-man box here. So we're going to run a little draw RPO. We're going to razor the running back here in motion. Okay. And Trevor's just going to see what they do. If these guys widen with him, or even one of them, okay, now we've got 5-on-4 or even 5-on-5. It's fine. Okay. This time they're going to take number 6 and they're going to peel him. Okay. Even the mic is flowing. So we got numbers. Great job by number 90. Again, he's got to jump on the snap count. Okay. Now, I think it's Jackson Carman. Okay, he's doing his job. He's got to make sure this guy doesn't come. But 90 gets on the right guard so quick that we're not really able to climb and get Patrick Queen. Trevor makes a miss and still gets a nice play out of it. But point being, because of play 1, you're in 3rd and 6. Okay, and you're going to get something really exotic. Okay, now what LSU is going to do here is they're in a double mug. So if the ends or linebackers, whatever you want to call them, with their hands on the ground are really, really wide, give them an angle pass rushing, and we've walked both inside linebackers up the line of scrimmage. And they're going to play 2-man here. Okay. Now, LSU bails us out here by busting a coverage. So you see number 3 here, he's communicating, hey, walk down, you're in man. He's trying to get out, play over the top. Okay. The pressure gets home. Trevor gets out, but notice, okay, he's supposed to be a man. Okay, and he's going outside to chase Trevor. And what winds up happening is we have a receiver now who's completely uncovered. Okay, this is a busted coverage on LSU's part. Helps us out. Looks like the battery's about to die. Better plug that thing in real quick. So sorry about that. All right, the busted coverage bails us out. Okay, now this is going to be our first true downhill run for ETN. We're in a quads look. Okay, I love these formations. They're really tough for the defense line up to. You're making them communicate, and you're creating problems. We have a clear pass. It's actually 5 receivers eligibles on one side, right? So we have a clear pass strength over here. Okay, so how are they going to handle that? They have to push guys out of the box. Okay, and we just run inside zone, get movement, and we get 8 or 9 yards here. I wish we'd have done a lot more of this. Like, look at this. Okay, 3. Stevens has to play the quarterback. He stays too wide. ETN makes a great cut here. I mean, man. And on top of that, y'all, we know how explosive LSU's offense is. When you're doing this, you're chewing clock. You're chewing clock, and sometimes the best defense is keeping Joe Burrow sitting on the sideline. Okay. We'll give them another funky little formation here. This is a 2-by-2 formation, but we're in a tight set. Baby's waking up. We're in a tight set, so they don't want to play man-to-man in this. It's just really tough. Like if you're trying to man this up, people start crossing and switching. You get some easy picks. So they sit in quarters. What else this does is it gives us great leverage to pin guys inside for the jet sweep, and it creates some leverage, right? LSU's playing like a quarters look here, and so we put Amari Rodgers in motion and get the jet sweep. We don't block it up perfectly, but it's a nice, easy 5 yards. Okay, now let's see this one here. We're getting a little bit of pistol. We're running a little RPO here, so we're going to take this sniffer here, and it's going to look like he's like before on the big play, like he's loading for the quarterback pull. We're going to read this defensive end right here where my clicker is. If he crashes, Trevor's going to pull it, but instead of it being a quarterback run, he's got the option to take off, or he's got the tight end who's now running the arrow. Looks like we have a deep comeback here, maybe some kind of sail. You get the pull read. Great job by 7. I think that's Grant Delpit. I might be wrong. I don't really remember. He makes the correct read. He gets a pull. Now, what I wish the second this guy turns his back, I wish Trevor would just take off, man. Okay, I wish he would just take off. It would be 3rd and short, if not a first down. Instead, he tries to force this comeback in. That's a really hard throw. Trevor can't really get downhill on his ball. He's trying to throw across his body. I mean, pretty good technique. He's a freaky athlete, but that's just tough. The motion of his body is going to make his ball kind of drift out of bounds. Okay, if he just takes off here, I think he gets 5 or 6 yards. At least we would be in 3rd and short. And now, we're in 3rd and 5, and we're going to get something really exotic. We get like it's a 22 front, so we've got guys over both tackles. Okay, they got the muggers. Here's your mugger, right? He walks up kind of over the center, maybe in a 1 technique. To Trevor, he thinks he's getting man, right? But it's not. It's zone, and he should know. Let me see if I can back this up. He should know with this motion right here that it's not man, that he's getting zone. Okay, if it was man, somebody's got to travel. Okay, or somebody's got to spin down. Nobody really spins. They just kind of shift a little bit. That's a tell that it's zone. Okay. So we got cover two in the boundary, and we got some form of quarters over here. We got this guy he's robbing slash, you know, cutting off anything deep. So Trevor, okay, should know this. He's got this access throw here for a first down. Okay. But his eyes kind of go the wrong way. He thinks it's man. He's trying to hit this shallow. At least that's what I think. Okay. He sees the shallow by Amari. He thinks it's man. Okay. But the spy picks it up. There's nowhere to go. It's a sack. But watch one more time. If he notices a zone and he plays the 2-on-2 game over here, easy first down. Again, it's a little bit frustrating. We get a field goal out of it. But I mean, this with LSU and that offense, you got to keep the pressure on. You got to keep moving the chains. So before I wrap up this video, my first quarter thoughts is you're getting lots of man-to-man with the spy. The game plan is clearly not to go after Stingley. Everything they've tried has been on the other corner. They've gone after him, but they are leaving Stingley be. That guy is a dog, and they know it. So anyway, they're leaving him alone. The offensive line is getting a lot of movement up front. Okay, so if I'm the play caller, I'm seeing that. I'm calling a lot more runs, and particularly like your straight downhill zone, your counters. Heck, I'm even getting an 11 personnel, and I'm running power. I'm trying to I want to stay out of third and long, so they can't get exotic. I want to make them think about that. That's going to help your downfield passing game, and probably most importantly, it's going to chew up clock and keep Joe Burrow sitting on the bench. Okay. And lastly, outside of the busted coverage, which really they bailed us out by busting in coverage, third down has been a huge problem for us so far. We've gotten in third and longs. LSU's getting creative on third and long, and that's not everybody does that on third and long, right? They're going to show you some funky stuff. That's so you got to make it count on first and second down and make sure that they cannot do that. And we have not done a great job of that at all. Trevor's been very confused on third downs. So, anyways, that's the first quarter of Clemson's offense. If you have any questions, let me know.